Hey everybody, this is Daniel with Bothersome Truth. Want to do another video today. Kind of want to talk about the Terence Crutcher situation, T.I.'s Warzone video, and the silence of Kaepernick critics. In kind of a response to the video I did yesterday, got a lot of feedback from that video, a lot of views. Thank you for those. A lot of people around the country are talking about Terence Crutcher, the unarmed black man who was shot and killed by police in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And talking about the initial response to the video. The video that we have shows that he had his hands up, that he was not a threat as police may have initially stated, and that he's dead. Police chief admitted that he had no weapon on him at all on his person or in his car. It's just a tough situation. Like, today's been a tough day for me. Because it's just like, what did he do wrong? You know, so many times, like, people are hunting for the crime that's broken so they can say, see, this black person wasn't doing what they were supposed to. If they would just follow the law, they'd live. But it's worse than that. There is no justice going on. Our constitutional rights are being violated because we don't have access to a fair and speedy trial. We don't have a scenario where we can ensure that we get fairness and justice. Instead, we do one wrong thing. We look at somebody the wrong way and we end up dead. It doesn't matter if they break the law when they do it, it's still our fault. Illegal chokehold with Eric Garner. They lie with Tamir Rice to say that they talked to him and he wouldn't comply. We find the video shows he was killed within a few seconds of them getting there, like 2 seconds. And with Terence Crutcher, you know, they said, oh, well, he didn't comply. But we look at the video and his hands are up. And it's funny when you look at the kind of the evidence behind it. I was reading some reports and they were saying that the lady who called 911 said it like he was on drugs, like it was a stalled car, he was running, he may have been on drugs. And to be honest, that's how this problem starts because of the way it's framed. Now police go in thinking this may be a black man on drugs, he may be dangerous, we gotta take extra precaution. And then the dash cam that we see is from a distance. And the police who walk up to where Crutcher is, like they kind of hide him so that you can't really see from the dash cam what's going on. And then he ends up getting hit with a taser and he gets shot and he's dead. And the helicopter operator from the helicopter says, like, it looks like a bad dude. All that stuff really speaks to the mindset of people who are in these positions. And I think it's educational for us because it says, hey, there are people who have these prejudices, and some of the prejudices are conscious and some are unconscious. Some people don't even know they have them. That's what makes this conversation difficult because I think people have biases. I think we all do. I've got them. But then when you try to highlight them and have a reasonable conversation about them, A, people don't want to address these things in an honest way, and B, some people aren't even aware of the biases that they have. So it just makes the conversation much more difficult. So a good example of the invisible biases that people have is Colin Kaepernick sat down from the national anthem because of these very issues. Oppression against black people by police. So he sat, right? And people got upset. He listened to a former Green Beret, a former NFL long snapper, Nate Boyer, and changed it to a kneel down. People still get upset. Now other people are catching on to it. So he was protesting police brutality. They made about everything but that. Well, now you got this guy killed for no good reason. Where are his critics? Have you heard anything from Jerry Rice? Have you heard anything from Tim Tebow? Have you heard anything from Drew Brees? Have you heard anything from Rodney Harrison, Ray Lewis, anybody? Going once, going twice? What do they have to say? Because they had everything to say about the flag and the military and his constitutional rights. They talked about everything but. They did a wonderful tap dance around this issue. But what did they actually say now about an actual case of a black man being killed by police without justification? And that's the kind of thing that weighs on people because it's like, this is the kind of thing that causes black people to lose hope, in my opinion. Because I have a lot of Facebook friends and people I've worked with and protested with, and I see that there's a group of black people who just lose hope and become angry and bitter at the system and at this country. And this is how it happens. Because I feel it a little bit today. And I'm battling it because you see this happening. You see people don't really care. They get silent. They would have so much to say if he was a gang member. They'd have so much to say if there was video of him yelling at police or pointing a gun at police. They'd be screaming Blue Lives Matter. But because the police are at fault and have no justifiable reason for what they did, everybody's quiet. Because we worship the police in this country. And the number one law is you have to do what a police officer says. If you don't, it's punishable by death. Because according to the police, he didn't comply with them, and so they shot him with a taser and then shot him. I mean, that's what they said. And I told you in a previous video that you can't believe what police say immediately after a shooting. What'd I tell you? What they said immediately after the shooting almost contradicts what happened in that video. And so then I watched T.I.'s Warzone, which is a music video he did in accordance with his rap song. And in the music video, he takes the Tamir Rice case, Eric Garner, he takes, Rosa Parks, and he replaces the black people with the white people, so the white people are the victims. And it's weird because I don't want white people to suffer these things. I don't want black people to suffer these things, or Hispanic or anyone else, or Muslim. I just want it to stop. But it was weird watching that because I was like, this is art. And I hope it gets people talking, because if you watch that video and you feel weird seeing a white kid get shot and killed like Tamir Rice, and if you, like me, thought, oh, that would never happen, it shows and highlights the issue that we face. Because if it's a wealthy white kid, it's not going to happen. I mean, I had ideas and thoughts and examples to bring up, but I don't want to conflate the issue. So today was a tough day. And I suspect it was tough for a good number of black people and people who care about these issues regardless of race. And honestly, I can't imagine how difficult it was for his family, Terrence's family. I mean, this is just how it is. Like, you just have these days where it's tough because you just feel like there's little reason to hold on to hope. I'm going to keep holding on to hope because I look at those sacrifices that my ancestors made for me when it came to slavery and convict leasing and Reconstruction and Jim Crow and KKK and lynching and everything that black people and white people and others who fought with black people for civil rights, all the things that people have done regardless of color to achieve civil rights, I appreciate it, and it gives me hope because things used to be so much worse. But things are not all rosy like everybody wants to make it out to be. And we still have a lot of work to do. And the way we can get started by getting that work done is that we'll actually start talking about race in this country and doing it in an intelligent way where we listen to one another and then decide to pass meaningful legislation and policies to actually fix this. Because holding signs ain't going to fix it. Yeah.